Morning, everybody. Welcome to B4 Live. I'm Richard Rosser from B4, and this is B4 Live with Spider Chan. Spider, are you with us?
I am. You should be able to hear me.
Excellent, brilliant. Good to see you, Spider. How's things going for you?
Yeah, look where I am.
You're in sunny Newcastle.
It's amazing. You should all come to Newcastle. Look at that. I've got a palm tree on my left-hand side.
Fantastic. So the weather's good in Newcastle, by the looks of things?
It's amazing. I'm right next to the beach. Just going to go there straight after this.
Fantastic, brilliant. And so I understand you, obviously you're on lockdown and you've got a special situation at the moment.
I have. I might bring. Why don't
your mermaid in from the sea?
No, I don't think she wants to come in. Oh no, she does. She does. She does.
Oh, bless it.
Look, there's the mermaid. Hello. Yes, I have a situation where my wife is 6 months pregnant, so we're heavily.
Your wife Vicky, yeah?
My wife Vicky, yes, that's correct.
Excellent, brilliant. Well, welcome to both of you, all two and a half of you.
Yeah.
And so you'll have a chat with us this morning about sort of keeping on top of our game at the moment during this difficult situation. How are you coping with things? And you finding it's easy as a personal fitness trainer to keep in touch with your clients? We had one on last week, a personal fitness trainer who said it's easier now to do things with their clients than it was before. How are you finding things?
I find that it's about that. I guess I wouldn't say it's easier, it's different. But I agree, in some sense it can be easier because there's a lot more consistency, which is by far the most important thing. So it's more about the mindset of the individual. If they can see past what the situations are and the circumstances, because obviously we can't control any external circumstances, but what we can control is how we respond to it as opposed to react to it. What I find is those who struggle, and it's okay to struggle because they are so used to a certain type of life or product or service, they have to get their head round it. And then I guess a lot of it is about going really deep down inside, is why did they start, health and fitness in the first place? So about online training, it 100% works without a shadow of doubt. And I firmly believe this is now the future, even when gyms do open back again, which they will. If I still had my physical gym, I would provide both online, like a hybrid service. I generally would do both now.
Interesting. So you're going to go on and do a presentation in a second, but just to say to everybody, and thank you again for joining us on a Saturday. It's brilliant to see you all. I'm sure many of you are familiar with how Zoom works now, but at the bottom of your screen, you'll see a share screen button. Don't push that. And then either to the left or the right, you'll see a chat button. Please do put your questions in there. I'll see the questions coming through. And you're more than welcome to say when you put a message in whether you'd like to ask Spider direct or you'd like me to ask on your behalf if you'd rather not come on camera. So it would be great to get you on camera so Spider can see you and it'd be a bit more interactive. But so that's where to put your questions. And when I invite you on, if you do want to come on, just unmute and put your camera on if it's not already on. Okay, over to you then, Spider. Thank you.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm just going to share my screen right now. So I have this presentation. Okay, hopefully everyone can see this. All right, can we all see that? Maybe give me a.
Yep, got it there, Spider. If you want to put it onto the from the beginning, like we were talking about.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Okay. So this is the presentation I actually gave through about a couple of months ago. I actually do some property investing, and we were talking about optimal performance as human beings, how to focus, how to really get in the best state of mind, physically, mentally, to do, I guess, a lot of work and in a way that your body will respond to. Now that was specifically for high performers. There were business executives there, property investors. So, but what I've done, and Richard kindly asked me to present this, obviously with today's current climate, which is the whole COVID-19 thing. So I've just adjusted it very, very slightly. It is going to be quite specific. And so I'm going to do in the next, probably less than 30 minutes, just give you very practical real life hacks that you can do on a daily basis that will definitely make a massive difference. Very, very simple stuff, not hocus pocus stuff, science backed. And it's just about how you practice these things on a consistent, probably daily basis to actually see the benefits. And the benefits are very, very simple. You have better energy levels, you have more focus, and in theory, if you do it well, you improve your immune system, which is why we're going to talk about this specifically. So the 4 pillars of health is something I use for my fitness clients, and also my one-to-one clients, where we go through not just workouts, we literally go through deep down into just well-being and health and longevity. So I've split these up into 4 things called stress, diet, exercise, and sleep. And I'm just going to expand on those things. So what we need to do is, the first thing is stress. It's not getting stress, it's essentially just your stress levels. And there's a couple of things I want to explain about stress. When we talk about stress, we generally just say, oh, I'm really stressed out. And it could be because you've got a ton of things to do, you've got a ton of things on your to-do list that you haven't done. But this sort of stress, especially in this sort of climate, there's a deeper level of stress where it's almost like this anxiety. So you get a classic scenario where you want to do something, or your brain tells you to do something. And I'm going to use exercise as an example, but it could be a call that you're supposed to make on a business call. It could be someone you're supposed to contact, but you just don't do it for all sorts of different reasons. You don't do it because you have other things to do. That creates like a level of anxiety within you. So what you want to try and visualize is your brain has constantly got something to say, I need to do this, I need to do this. But you are not responding to it for all sorts of different reasons. That creates this stress deep down into your system. And then we all know, or you may not know, there's a stress hormone called cortisol that will kick in. It's very, very real. And when that happens over time, you're actually going to probably chip off levels of your immune system just bit by bit by bit. And what it looks like, okay, on a very, very physical level, is you just feel like everything's hard. You might know what this feels like one of these days where, I know if you're looking at spreadsheets, for example, you can't focus. Nothing seems to come in. That is a really good sign that you're under this really high stress level, all right? So I call these hacks, right? The first hack is breathing. And you might be thinking, oh, it's all this, weird stuff. It's not. Without going to massive levels of deep science, okay, if you honestly deep breathe consistently on a daily basis, it only takes about 10 consecutive days. I've just shown you on the right-hand side a very, very simple method of doing it. Then you will see an immediate improvement. And I really mean this. So all of you who are listening and you want to just take one thing away, is practice deep breathing. Now, it can be really complicated or really simple. I'm using a method that some of you might have already heard. This is not me. I didn't make this up. It's a guy called Wim Hof. If you've never ever heard of Wim Hof, I will totally recommend you to just search him, Google him out. One of his things is breathing. The reason why I like his breathing, because it's very, very simple. It's what you do in your breathing is entirely up to you, right? But ultimately, you want to spend a time where you do 30 to 40 deep breaths. And if you can see me, I'm going to just show you right now, okay? Remember, these are very practical things you can do. So a deep breath might look something like this. So you basically breathe from your diaphragm. Doesn't matter if it's from the nose or the mouth. It is better through the nose, but let's just do it through the mouth. So it'll look like, so that's 2. Now, you do this for 30 to 40 deep breaths. Now, if you've never, ever done this before, make sure you don't do this, say, like in the bath or driving. Make sure you do it lying down or sitting down, because you will feel slightly dizzy, and that's okay. Because what's happening is you just massive amount of oxygen kicking in. You will get that slight kind of nausea and dizziness, but that's a good thing. So what happens is, just say you've done your 30th breath, you exhale everything out, and then you hold it. You hold it for as long as you can. Now, it could be 30 seconds, 45 seconds, 1 minute. Just say you've held it for 30 seconds, you can't hold anymore. Then you just take in another deep breath, and you hold that for about 10 to 15 seconds, and that's classed as 1 round. If you repeat that for about 3 to 4 rounds, I cannot express this more than how simple it is to do, but the benefits are phenomenal. All right, I would do it, try it, and please let me know you've tried it, because as Wim Hof says it, and I'm going to steal it, you get high on your own supply. And this is better than, not that I've tried drugs, but it is pretty amazing. Okay, you really do get quite high. And not only, I mean, the stress levels, you get calmer, your focus levels, your energy levels will just go through the roof on just that one go. Remember, don't do it whilst driving. Don't do it in the bath. Do it in a safe place. You might even fall over. Do it lying down to start off with. It is the easiest thing to do. It's free. Everyone has access to this, and the benefits is phenomenal. So that's number 1. So number 2, okay, we all know about diet as such. Let me try and move this away so I can see myself. All right, see. So everybody knows about diet. I'm not going to go on this too much, but however, in this kind of climate, most people probably, I would say, think they're doing the right thing, and it's you know, you go to the shelves and all the meat's gone, and all the toilet rolls gone, and all the tins are gone, and all that kind of stuff. But very rarely, I mean, the first couple of weeks I went, the fresh fruit and vegetables, there's still plenty of it. And now, ultimately, that's what you really, really should be having. But what I'm just going to quickly go through with diet is, you want to choose the highest nutritional value food. So limit the processed rubbish, okay? Fruit and veggies are by far the best. Don't forget about healthy fats, because your whole brain is constituted of fat, okay? Of all the main brain function works on fat. So your omega-3s, your 6, and your 9s. You want to just make sure you have things like oily fish. Good quality protein is by far the most important thing here. It doesn't matter if you're a vegan or not, get your healthiest, your best quality proteins you can have. Because again, let's just use this as an example. In this current climate, your immune system is going to be, it's going to have to work overtime. If you read the news, it's it's a high likeliness that many of us may even have this virus, but we're not showing symptoms. The reason why,
turn the telly off as well as this for 10 minutes.
I think somebody needs to mute their, let me just. So, so the reason why is because your immune system is going to be heavily attacked even when you go outside. That's why your food is so important. Your food is your fuel. You have to look at it as just your ability to fuel your body, so you can, I guess, complement and help your existing immune system. When we are low, whether it's lack of sleep, which I'm going to go on later, and I'm going to do another thing is about water. When we are low, or your kids are running around, or your business is going nuts, especially at this time, going back to that first point, okay, your stress levels will kick in. Everything's firing, your chemical systems, everything going overload. Your body will go into the immune system as a response. Now, if you're not backing it up, and with food is one of the most important things, is you're going to just take bits out for everywhere. Everybody will, part of your body will demand your immune system. Then you get lower and lower and lower, and then you get more susceptible to things like sickness, injuries, lack of focus, really, really bad fatigue, energy levels. All of that stuff kicks in, which is not what you want right now. Your body will draw on what I call your currency, okay, which comes from a big source of that is good quality proteins in your body. So the thing with this is to complement all of that is water, which is why I put a little star on the hydration. So with the bonus hack is water. Most people say, yeah, I know I need to hydrate, but when I did this presentation, the one thing I want you to really kind of focus is the moment you're slightly dehydrated, okay, just 10% dehydrated, essentially water is a universal solvent, which means everything requires water to function, okay? The moment you're slightly dehydrated, about 10%, it damages your DNA. What does that mean? Your body starts printing out, and this is why I say crappy copies of yourself. What does that mean? Over time, crappy copies of your DNA is a definite science-backed that you increase your chances of tumor and cancer cells, and guess what? It literally destroys your immune system. So going back to, if there's one thing, this is even easier than breathing, okay? You must hydrate. Don't wait till you feel thirsty to drink. Just hydrate yourself consistently. Now, the best time, if there was a best time, and there is a best time to hydrate, is first thing in the morning, because you would have had anything between 5 to 7 hours, maybe more, of sleep where you've had no water in your system. So if you can just wake up first thing, drink about a pint at least of water, add a bit of lemon, if you want to add a little bit of salt, okay, that will hydrate you very, very, very quickly. And again, if you do that consistently for about 5 to 7 days in a row, again, you will feel a difference. You will feel a difference. The first thing I'm going to say you feel a difference is your energy levels. All right, your energy levels will be a lot more sustained. Just do that. So that's hack number 2. Number 3, we're going to go about exercise. And with exercise, it gets quite complicated because everybody has an idea of what the perfect exercise is. My approach to it, and it's the same with my clients, and I think some of you are actually on here, which is great, is you, at this time, we're going to talk about this context, okay, with this whole COVID-19, you cannot exercise at your highest intensity because you're going to destroy your immune system. High intensity training is not the thing you should be doing right now. But what I mean by that doesn't mean you're just going to do nice, easy walks or just things that will just get you moving. You need to be able to work with how your body responds. And one of the most important things, and this is what you've got to ask yourself, is can you do what you've been told to do or what you've prescribed yourself consistently? So can you do it for 3-4 times a week, every single week? Because if you can't, and your body one day thinks, oh man, I'm wiped out, then you've overdone it. And then if you've overdone it, at this climate, that's the worst place to be in. Even if we do not have this COVID-19 thrown around, okay, you want to have consistent results and you want to look good, feel great, lose weight consistently, never put it back on. That is the same question you need to be asking. Can you, whatever's being prescribed to you, whatever's being told, whatever you're following right now, can you do that consistently? Can you imagine yourself doing it all the time and doing it well? Because if the answer is no, then something's wrong, right? You should be able to do any form of exercise that's right for you consistently. And if you do that, your body will serve you back. Not only will you just look great, your body will change, your weight will drop, but you will function better, which is why we're talking about this. You generally will function better. And I really mean this, you will just look better without even trying. So that's
can I just come in on that? Is that okay?
Yeah, come in, absolutely.
So are you saying basically rather than doing an hour or a bit more than an hour, a couple of days and then being wiped out for a day or two, just find something you can do for half an hour every day?
So I have to obviously answer this with a little bit of deeper thought into it. If you were to say to me, I'm training, I am an athlete, and this is what I do, I'm an endurance
I think we can safely
athlete.
say I'm not, Spider.
Yeah. So, hey, you're a pretty fit guy, right? Then to answer your question, yes, it is without doubt a 10x, okay, return on your investment if you just do 20 to 30 minutes that works for you. And I'm talking longevity. if you were an athlete and you weren't induced athlete, that's completely different. So that's a different thing. But even I'm going to tell you that even they will need to have coaches and a team that will help them stay consistent. Because one of the biggest problems is people get injured and they just get absolutely wiped out. For us average mortals, you've got to find that one thing that actually you know when it just feeds you. It's taken me over 20 odd years to figure out myself. I used to be a classic meathead, just lift heavy, lift heavy, lift heavy. By the way, it's nothing wrong with resistance training. And then I went to the complete extreme. I used to go mega high intensity training, like super, super high intensity stuff. And both of them served me well for a while, but then my body broke down. It literally collapsed and broke down. So yeah, exercise science and physiology, all that kind of stuff can get quite complicated, but 100% consistency is by far the key. I know it sounds boring, but it really is the key.
Thanks.
No probs. Right. So the fourth one is just a recap. We've done how to kind of battle stress is through deep breathing. We can do that anytime. And then the second one is essentially your movement or exercise. Actually, no, what was the second one? How do I go back? Oh yeah, I can recap right now. So the second one is your food and your diet. Okay, so I was basically just saying, look, you've got to choose the highest nutrition, and at this point, increase your protein levels. The third hack was what I've just mentioned, exercise. And then we're going to go on to sleep. Now with sleep, I'm going to actually read off something. Actually, I don't have it with me, but I want to refer you to a book that I think is probably the best book about sleep if you're interested. It's a book called Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. And there's this little bit in the book that literally says that, would you be interested if you could perform better, you lose weight naturally, you look younger, all of these different things, and it's there for you. And then people say, would you be interested? Almost they did it as an advert. Obviously, everyone would be interested. And the answer is basically sleep. So the easiest thing about sleep is you've got to, again, ideally get between 7 to 9 hours of sleep on a daily basis if you can. I know it's difficult to do that. And one of the hardest things about sleep is we are living in a society where we are literally killing our ability to sleep. And one of the things that I've tried on myself, and again, what I would love for you guys to try is probably one of the hardest things. I know this is really tough, but it's one of the most effective things, is have a tech curfew about 30 minutes or at least 30 minutes, ideally 60 minutes before bedtime. So what do I mean by tech curfew? It just means no phones, no laptops, no TV. I know it's tough, all right? I know, before bedtime. Try it. If that's really tough for you, try it for 30 minutes before. Again, I'm going to use the 10 to 14 days consistently. Watch your sleep immediately improve. Immediately, it'll get better. I mean, the book explains it a lot better than I do. I've only just started researching and really, really kind of studying sleep deep. That book is probably one of the best ones. So what all it does is the light that comes out from tech kills your body's abilities to sleep. Okay, it goes on loads about your natural circadian rhythm, all sorts of different things. But what I'm going to try and say is the tech curfew for me, and I think it will probably be the same for every single one of you, will have a huge effect on your ability to sleep. Sometimes I know we cannot sleep more, but the next best thing is sleep better. Again, it will serve you 10x the ability for you just to focus, more energy. And really, the science means that even better sleep means you do lose weight, or you slim down, or you stay leaner. It sounds too good to be true, but it absolutely is the truth. So those are my 4 hacks. The recap is the stress, breathing, okay, high nutritious foods for your diet. Hack number 3, get your right exercise for consistency, at least 20 to 30 minutes. Do it consistently for 3-4 times a week to ask yourself the question, can I do this consistently for the rest of my life? And then sleep. So those are my 4 hacks that if you apply let's go back to the very beginning, for your optimal performance as a human being, to work efficiently, to perform effectively, do these 4 things. Everyone has access to this. You will see a huge difference. So, Richard, that's the end of that.
Excellent, brilliant stuff, Spider. I just put a note in the chat to say that we're going to circulate this video and your PowerPoint, if you're happy for us to do so, Spider, next week. It'll be Tuesday now when the team come back on and do all that technical stuff that I haven't got a clue how they do. So I'm afraid that'll be Tuesday. But if anybody's got any questions for Spider now, please do come on. Well, drop me a note in the chat and let me know.
Just ask me any questions.
We've got Chris, who apparently knows you from the gym, saying very good, very clear presentation. Thanks for
thank you, Chris.
such clear and simple answers. And Abby, Abby, do you want to come on screen? Abby's my daughter, so she's just qualified as a personal instructor. And you got a question, Abby?
I do. Spider, what would you say is the first one out of your 4 hacks you would tackle first? Is it's like there's quite a lot, especially if you don't do all of those things now. Which one would you say is the most important one to start with to get the ball rolling?
I think the first one I would start with, and the easiest one for absolutely everybody to do, is to hydrate. I know people think they're hydrated, but they're not. And first thing, definitely do it first thing. I would do that first thing, and I really think it's a very, very good question. I always try to, I guess, give people the best return on investment. So I think almost the easiest thing to do for the best return, I think, just by hydrating consistently, is going to really help you. So that will be the one I would do first.
Okay. Yeah, that's my only question.
Well, it was nice to have one, Abby. Thanks very much.
No, it was good. It was really good. No, it was really really insightful, actually.
We're going to try and convince Spider to come on again. So if anybody else would like to give Spider the thumbs up, do click yes in the chat function box on the right hand side. Spider, just a quick question for me. Obviously, now is a good opportunity to try and get into those good habits before lockdown becomes unlockdown, whatever the term is. And I suppose it's getting into those habits, but ensuring that you can transfer them to the new normal. And that's going to be another trick, isn't it? And not making them too complicated or too onerous on us, that they don't become common sort of habits for us going forward.
Sure.
So what would your tip be on that in terms of not making it too complicated and too stressful on the body?
In terms of just applying these extra things in your life, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose, as I say, we've got this period in our lives now where things are on hold and we can start, giving up chocolate or making sure we get more sleep or having that pint of water every morning. Make straight, it was a pint of water you were talking about, wasn't it? Wasn't another pint?
Yeah, at least.
So, making sure we do get into these habits now, and when we do come out of lockdown, taking them into our lives when the stress starts to come back in, the going to work, the journeys and everything comes back in. So it's all very well doing it for 3 or 4 weeks, but how can we do things to make sure we carry them forward?
So to answer that question, I would say that the fact that you've tried it and you've done it consistently, even between now and whenever we do unlockdown, the benefits your body will tell you, you won't stop doing it.
No, okay, fine.
That makes sense. You would think, I cannot stop doing this because I feel so good.
It will become a habit.
It just becomes easy. I mean, I had this conversation with my other interview on Instagram Live. The question was, how do you stay consistent? And it's a very similar answer. It's like when your body generally knows it's benefiting, and you're on this stage where you either carry on doing it or you don't do it. When you don't do it, it's just such a bad effect on your body that you think, I have to keep doing it. It's one of the reasons why I don't understand how many people can go on a massive health regime, say first of January, which happens every single year in, year out. And then when life hits them hard or they struggle, they just stop. So it just means that what they're doing is they haven't figured out what really, really serves them properly. Ultimately, I guess it's about serving you properly so that you can be in that best possible version of yourself, so you could then serve other people, your loved ones, your family. And, you know, if we are business owners and you run high-end jobs, you can then perform. I think that's why I keep using that word, performance.
Brilliant. And we have got one question from Matthew. Matthew, I'm not sure if you want to come on screen and ask, or if you want me to ask on your behalf. You there, Matthew? Okay, I'll ask on your behalf. Let's just see if we're I've unmuted you, Matthew.
Hello.
There you go.
Does this work?
Yeah, I've got you. We can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Matthew.
Hello. Yes. How, Spider? What are your advice, especially for emotional eaters like me? Like I get like this lockdown's driving me crazy. I love me kids, but I could kill them. And then
You just said that on camera, Matthew.
what? I know.
I think there's a policeman
I don't
here
care
as
anymore.
well.
I've got a pack of noodles, and I know it's bad for me, but I just grab it. I had to get some vodka the other night. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just being honest.
Matthew, this isn't the Samaritans. This is.
asking
Your
you for some
confession, Matthew.
Plus, like I've noticed my sleep isn't as good. I'm tired, but it's a bit like, I don't know, is it anxiety or insomnia? I don't know. So any tips?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a fantastic question. I reckon most people will probably suffer from that. I do as well. Emotional eating is a real thing. And if I had to just give you a very simple answer, is if your body is like, you're craving something to eat, and you're just going to have to give into it, okay? So give into it. But here's the thing. You cannot let that internal system to feed that stress and say, oh, I'm just eating this packet of biscuits because I can't control myself. Now I'm going to feel even worse, because that's the bit that's not quantifiable. That's the bit that I've learned, because my fitness journey has created a massive eating disorder for me. And I'm not ashamed saying that. What I've learned is that once you have that guilt or that like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, it then feeds into it even worse. So honestly, if you really wanted to eat those packet of noodles, your body, obviously, there's something missing that makes you want to have it. It's probably fatigue. It's probably being tired. It's probably all sorts of things. So I would say is you can't fight it, because Mother Nature will always win. So you may as well feed it for what it wants for now, and then learn how to strengthen your body and your mental strength to say, I need to actually do better next time so I don't have these cravings. I know it sounds crazy, but the other option is, this is what happens. Most people will say, no, I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to have it. So you might win for about that moment. And then the day kicks in and your kids start screaming again. People want more of you. People more demand of you. And all of a sudden, that urge becomes even stronger. What are you going to do? Fight it? Yeah, you might win again. But I guarantee it, every single time you fight it, it gets worse and worse. And what happens is, most people will then binge and have a massive blowout. So then if you, in hindsight, did what I said, you caved into your first craving, that would have been a lesser evil than just fighting it, and all of a sudden you would have binged out.
Okay.
Can
Does
I
that
say
help?
something on that as well?
Absolutely.
So I've done that. I've had gone through like a binging and purging sort of situation, and I found that kind of putting that into your mind, saying this might be a thing, like later on I may want to binge. Just make it so clear in your mind that's going to happen, and prepare like a healthier alternative before it even happens. So you know that when you're in that low state or you're in that stress state, you have something to go to, but it may be a healthier alternative as to what you would have grabbed in the moment.
Planning.
Hello, DJ. Eddie, how are you?
Hello.
I'm fine, Terry.
That's,
It's all right. It's okay. I've muted Eddie's phone call, which I'm sure we're all interested in. But, Matthew, maybe we can get you on next week with Spider. It's very entertaining. Thank you. I hope that helped both you and Abby.
Yeah.
Abby, did that answer? Sorry, did you answer your own question there? Then sorry.
No, I was just giving advice as to like almost planning what you're kind of knowing in advance that you could binge and purge. So just keep that in your mind as instead of just going for something like in that moment spontaneously, it kind of, you have so many options, it can be overwhelming. So to limit that down, create a meal for yourself that you could have in that moment, which is a healthier alternative as to something that you would just grab from the fridge straight away.
That's actually really good. It is really good.
Can you stop using the word purge, Abby? You're making me nervous.
Binge and purge. It's
No.
That's
Yeah.
what it's called.
Okay. Spider, could you stop sharing your screen and I'll just put mine on. Thank you. No, I didn't mean that. There you go. Back to sunny Newcastle. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Spider. That's was really, really useful. Thank you everybody for staying on with us today. We've got, let's have a, if I can make this work. Am I not be able to make it work? No, it doesn't want to go off your face for some reason, Spider.
Oh, my face.
No, there we go. There we go. So I just put a note in the chat there. If anybody wants to sign up for B4, free, no obligation, 90-day trial. We're going to be gating content from the end of April. So no obligation at all. Why not sign up and get access to hopefully some more content from Spider and lots of other talks that we've got. We have B4 Live every day at noon and lots of great talks coming up. We've got John on HR on Tuesday. And then we've got Richard Knight on Wednesday, Paul Ballinger, we've got loads more. So they're all coming up next week. Thank you for joining us, Spider. Thank you to everybody else, and have a lovely weekend, and just go and eat as many Easter eggs as possible. That's the bottom line, isn't it?
Even I'm eating one.
Oh yeah, fantastic. And good luck to Vicky. Hope everything goes well with the birth in July.
Thanks.
Go and have a
Good luck,
swim.
Vicky.
Thank you.
Bye everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for coming on.